them, and the one last week wasn't the most convincing, but you know, it was the story kind of on the second split before where it was all these almost moments, all these losses, and they said, well, we're trying something, and they obviously, you know, were doing unfortunate roster shuffles very early on for reasons that they didn't expect, so out of their control, but at the same time, they've had time. Now, they've had the ability to get themselves balanced back and put themselves on the ballast of success. This is where it starts. Last play day, let's consider that a write-off.
Kind of like the Capital ban I was seeing coming in from Rogue right here. I saw Pengu saying something about the fact that G2 wasn't using enough Capital last week. They stepped that up this week in their Consulate game. You now see it being banned out straight away. So it might be an interesting one to keep your eye out on for this matchup. Of course, you will not see its impact, but it might handicap the takes that Vitality would like to push with over the next couple of rounds, of course, after site swap. As console office meeting will be the first site. Don't see anything too strange on the operator lineup.
That's it, but I guess it's down to the confidence that we feel. And if you missed the Rogue game last week, the opener versus Kavana, it was built, unfortunately, upon a round that slipped away from them. The bold play of Gorgona cracked through, and they're always on the back foot. It is a bit unfortunate to lose in that sort of 1 versus 1 situation, sprinting away from the site itself, but to suffer that puts you in a mindset that bogs you down for the rest of the game. And you could kind of see it in the player camps. You could kind of see it in the energy that the players are putting forward. Here, they're starting on their attack. They have the ability to try and pull some successes early on against Vitality. It's Consulate. You can attack this in creative ways, and big, bold solo fraggers can go huge. We saw that earlier today. If you didn't watch it, go back and watch the G2 match to see a masterclass on how to kill people. Here, though, we need those players to step up. And last week, only Leon really did. Asus and Cryan, they just couldn't really get their teeth into the game.
No, they weren't really able to, and those are the two players that would come to mind straight away when you're thinking about this Rogue roster, about the players who have to step up. But it's going to be up to this Consulate right here, and I've said it in a previous game. It is a map that revolves a lot about repelling, getting the drones in, and making sure that you get those pings on point just to follow it up with a couple of rounds, heading straight into the body. And as you see right now, looks like they want to go for a very aggressive take as Leon gets the first kill onto Rise.
Yeah, aggressive, getting the opening kill within the opening 30 seconds. Your thermite swinging right onto the window above the site. Yeah, I think that counts as aggressive, wasting no time using Consulate for what Consulate's so good at, which is this. You can hold sites and completely control the space without really needing to enter the building. It's the argument about how viable and how tough it's becoming in the current meta and slew of operators, but we're seeing an example of how it can be used so well. The first off the board, instantly Rise is gone, and they're instantly having to pressure with a canister at the 2-minute mark on the windows.
Oh, there come the grenades. Bebo taking a lot of damage right there for the first one. The second one comes in as well, and Asus clears off the angle right there, and that means that the site is now open. No more smoke canisters to worry about as the Gon 6 will be used to take care of one of those Banshees. And Aces right now taking a lot of pressure in that case, and it looks like yellow is going to be the next point of interest that Rogue would like to take.
They are wasting no time. It was one of the things that they said about their game last week on Twitter afterwards, was they said the plan was there, but they just couldn't win their ones. They couldn't get that success and build it all together for more rounds. And here they are making sure that they grab the round and don't let it slip away. P4 put pressure down, heads underneath towards Spiral, and potentially going to rotate up yellow. So you can see they have Cryan located not too far away to catch anyone that gets loose. Leon suffers as he swings in and tries to get down, maybe dropped by Shinka, maybe dropped by just an unlucky fall. Looks like it was Shinka though, as P4 taking down Cryan here could be the moment that swings everything together.
Oh, there we get it. One MK14 shot coming off on Aces. The pickup will be there on Leon, and P4 is thinking about going for a bit of a frag as Aces will be taken down by Cactus with the Alda run out coming in as well. P4, however, not able to pick up the kill onto Rips, and that is going to be making the team of Rogue aware of his position, and that means a potential hunt could be coming in as well. But Shinka picks up Leon. That means that the fuser will be dropped, and Corey right now needs to recover that one together with Rips as they do manage to make themselves onto the side. Rips will be repelling in as well, as there is always that threat of the potential run out to come in. Also a couple of impacts as Cactus gets yet another kill. It's a 1v3 situation, and the flank is there from P4, but it's Cactus to get the final kill. It's Vitality to win round number 1, even though a very, very good start from Rogue with 2 early picks.
It was a solid start from Rogue, but it started to go a little bit wrong on the attempted entry. They had the long angle held from the long desk, and they also obviously had the Maestro there, keeping the cross angle towards the bathroom too. It was a very much, we'll try and get through, try and push past us. They tried, and unfortunately they failed. They didn't quite have the cover that they thought they did. Able to get the diffuser close and eventually into sight, but without any of the safety that they'd been able to build for themselves early on. Unfortunately led to a bit of a misplay. But you hope, if you're a Rogue fan, that they take some comfort in how they opened the round. The pace was there, the control was perfect, it was the execution that suffered and stumbled, but they're a team of experience that we all know knows how to lead into this. On the other hand, the Vitality fans, I guess you can wipe the sweat off after how that round started, because they were able to keep it locked down. Similar to how we saw the French team play earlier today, they had their control, they had their comfort and confidence in those 2 backline gunners, and P4 causing problems underneath, well, fed into the gun of Cactus.
Indeed, Cactus able to pick up a beautiful triple kill there with that Alda, making sure that they weren't able to get that bomb plan down, or the diffuser plan down, rather. Because right now, the obnoxious evil eyes are being placed underneath the white van. It's very difficult to deal with that. You're probably going to be seeing the Gun 6 of Aces to be used for that one, as we've talked about it a lot. The Yana brings a lot of utility removal, 2 grenades, Gemini replicators for the laser gates, and a Gun 6 able to use on any gadget of your liking.
Let's see if they can catch anyone by surprise early. And talk of early, look at Leon putting the pace down Bono instantly, making sure that they can apply that pressure to the site with the same pace that they're able to do it with before. Rips is watching the rotate and going to try to put an air jab onto the door. It wasn't successful before, but that sure was. Cactus swings wide and takes care of Aces before the frag grenade can really connect. That's so much utility destruction that has just been taken out of the pockets of Rogue, and they're really going to struggle now as they try and push it deeper and deeper into the site. The reverse repel, see if they can catch anybody that's getting a little bit too bold and old for comfort as they clear some clarity and space for where they want to put the diffuser down. But with Bibu still locked up above, none of the side of white van is safe.
Nothing is safe indeed, and while you also lost that Aces, of course, that means that the Evil Eye will be staying up for a bit longer, will be zapping away defeat as soon as Cactus feels like it, so they definitely will have to put some different utility down to try and make sure that this Evil Eye is not going to be feeding information or chipping away the HP bar. Of course, it doesn't kill you quickly, but it's definitely annoying to deal with if you're trying to get that plan down, as Crying seems to be aware of the fact that there is a flank or someone still available all the way on that top floor. They are now contemplating, are we going for the roam hunt? As that indeed seems to be the case, as Rice will go down, is going to be secured with an Ash charge here from Crying. They are bringing it back to a... Oh, no, he misses.
Just a little bit too wide, and that man crawls to the attempt of safety around the back of the circle desk, and there's no one able to quickly pick it up, but P4 in the meantime suffers, potentially on the attempt on a rotate to try and pick up Rise, who's playing Ring Around the Rosies, but there's a very long red trail that leads right towards you. Crying solidifies and locks off the kill, and finally puts Rogue one body up, but with a minute left on the board, they've got to now start trying to pressure down below, and this is where things fell to a bit of a halt and a crumble previously. Bibu catches the drone and holds a very tight, tense angle. Are they aware? They don't seem like they are. There's one, and there's a retreat back into the bathroom. Crying is looking for some revenge, has to recollect the diffuser. There's 40 seconds. Corey's putting pressure on the opposite side, but Bibu finds him too. Swings with the shotgun, potentially close on anti-chamber. There's the third! Bibu, the Frenchman, says, no, you shall not enter. There is the response. 20 seconds left. Rips is all that's there with 2 bodies left on the site itself. One being Cactus, who's already having a Stormer. This could be a very long 15 seconds.
First, we get a triple kill for Cactus. Now we get a triple kill for Bibu, who they just forgot to drone out. And now it's all up to Rips. It's going to get tagged down a lot by the smoke canister. And we'll find the Alva right after. And look at them. Vitality are alive as they pick up their second round in a row right here. Rogue, doesn't matter if they start well or bad. In the end, it is Vitality that are able to pick up the round twice in a row now.
Missed drone led to a misplay and a missed moment there, and little mistakes are big worries when you watch Rogue play because it's the thing that always costs them. It's almost that sort of worry there is you see how consistently good they can be. You see these moments of Rogue playing to Rogue's capabilities, and then you see that happen and you're like, oh, here we go again.
It's a very default mistake, isn't it? Like, you're clearing out many people and then you just forget about the fact someone might be in bathroom, the very basic position they will be playing for that site. And often with a shotgun as well, and that's what you saw exactly over there, the power of the M59. Just playing in that bathroom, swinging the door. You're literally going to one-shot anybody that comes in your range if you manage to hit center mass. And, well, Bibu able to pick up a couple of kills. You see it here first, dropping that diffuser cold, making sure that the pace is out of the round, then followed up by a couple of just shells being sprayed down the range. Again, the diffuse down, wasting a lot of time. Beautifully played out there by Bibu.
Well, 2 rounds and 2 backlines of Vitality that have given themselves 2 wins to the top floor. They go for their setup for the hold on lobby as there is a standard extension, and I'm curious what the adaptations of Rogue will be, because so far the pace that they've applied towards putting damage into the site has been quick. Whether it's the body or the wall that gets dropped, either way, they're making sure that they make things happen. Then it seems to, as we've seen twice now, fall apart on the execution. They get a little bit too locked in on what needs to happen next, and Vitality seem to just have a body in a position that can punish them across both attempts so far. Here, though, they're making sure that they go all in on the top floor. The part of the control that they do so well is probably the biggest ask on this site push. So let's see if they can find success on the second story.
To keep in mind, in the last round, they had the garage breach open in 20 seconds, but they just failed the rest of the control. They weren't able to, like, nail it down. So yes, they're quick on the initial take, but they're not really consistent, not well enough on making sure that they keep control. And Shinka right now in a very dangerous position, could be wallbanged, has to be careful to not be droned out, as P4 takes a lot of damage right now from the yellow stairs. Is going to be trying to support Shinka at least for as long as he can, but he's very, very important with those smoke canisters.
Corey is looking for the long fight, but it's Shinka that finds aces and sprays through the top of yellow to see if they can catch somebody trying to get some revenge, but it was a dangerous place to play, and yet again it has paid off. Vitality have an opportunity, they have a bit of bravery, and then they find a Rogue body. Rogue find one back as Corey's able to shut down P4. That's 3 smoke canisters gone on a lobby door push, a huge removal of utility now, and Cactus is able to get a little bit of revenge, but look at the frag grenades that are now gone. It is a bitter blow to both teams' utility that's going to make this so much more complicated.
You really see that Vitality is growing as a team as they manage to continue the momentum so far, have a man advantage grind still on that top floor, hoping to find 1 or 2 members. There is still 2 on the top floor, and that is something he probably will not know. It's Bibu that is on the soda machine, is 1 in the corner on the Visa stairs, I believe, and that means that as soon as Krine is going to be overstaying his welcome right here, surely will be flanked by either of those 2 members of Vitality who are just patiently waiting. They're playing passively, and it's exactly what they need to do. 40 seconds left on the clock. 1 man is on the rappel. Oh, beautiful shot from Cactus, dropping the diffuser. Again, the diffuser down. Again, a lot of time will be wasted right here. And as Shinka picks up yet another one, it is all up to Rips now in a 1-on-4 situation with 20 seconds left. Will be slowed down by the Banshee. The Elder starts spraying in. There's no way that he will be able to get this round, as he does manage to get a nice shot off onto Cactus though.
Well, the Banshee's finally taken care of, but yet again we find ourselves in Rips, and the clock is red, but it doesn't run out. Vitality, 4 rounds in a row, built on, I mean, in some cases, a little bit of a misthrow and a little bit of a slip up on utility, and unfortunately, a lot of a price to pay. Can't even get my words out today.
Neither can I, but it looks like we have a tactical timeout by Rogue straight away.
That's the excuse I'm going to go with, is that someone was in my head telling me there was a timeout. But no, I'm just rubbish at my job. Talking of 3-0 Vitality, they're pretty good at their job. The job, lock down the French consulate and make sure Rogue can't enter. To be fair, Rogue have been entering. The entry has been great both times. The third was a little bit shaky, and they obviously lost someone after almost getting the kill. But then it's a brick wall. They keep hitting in terms of executing onto the side. It's a brick wall made of Alder in the hands of Cactus, who is swinging that gun with all the aplomb of, I mean, it's going burr.
It's going burr indeed, and this is the right time to do it, right? You've just completed a complete cycle, that you've lost every single site to your opponent, and you do need to pick up 1 or 2, maybe even 3 rounds on Consulate here on your attack if you want to have a good second half. And well, let's see if this tactical timer will also sway the momentum just a little bit. We saw in the previous game, in the Empire game, where they got a tactical timeout, instantly managed to get on a roll, instantly managed to get 2 rounds out. Is Rogue going to be able to do the same, or is Vitality, the team who has been boot camping ever since their announcement, who has been getting very close to each other and has been improving oh so much, going to be continuing this momentum and absolutely leave nothing of Rogue left alive?
Well,
take your time.
No, you know.
Don't choke, please.
It's a struggle sometimes, and I guess that's one of the points that might tie into this. Is we earlier on today, this very day, saw a team go 3-0 down. They had a timeout, and then they were able to start pulling some rounds back. Empire with a team also against a French team, and they found some success afterwards. Didn't last all the way, but it built them back with some new renewed confidence. And I guess that's what you're hoping now from the guns of Rogue, is that they've been able to get some response, because there are these sparks with them, as there always are, of brilliance. It's threading them into the paragraph, the story of success, which is the struggle. So how are they going to go for the approach here? They had the same tactic, the same approach before. There's a lot on these double windows, and they're making sure that they can burn it before trying to blow Bibu out of the room. The pressure comes from the opposite side with an attempted angle open at the ankle height from yellow window, but it's still all focused so far on these double windows.
Gonna pay him, keep in mind right here, a grenade was already tossed in to try and make sure to continue and secure that kill, as Corey throws in a grenade and actually takes it to Selma himself right there. So a lot of misused utility coming down so far, and literally the one and only counter you need to go for is below. You go into Piano, you kill the player playing there, you shoot 1 S charge up, and suddenly the position is unplayable, and he will be forced out of it. But that's something Rogue isn't doing. Instead, they're going for the complete rotate. They failed to spot how to take care of Bibu, and yes, of course, there is some pressure down there as well, but they just decide to completely throw away the strategy and try and do something else. Now, sometimes that works out. I'm just, you know, kind of concerned by the fact that right now they're still going for an admin take with 90 seconds left, and they probably will be cutting some time by not properly droning everything out. Might be losing 1 or 2 members as a result for that.
Shinka pulls back, but will give the game away that they're going for a bit more pressure on admin. Saw the top of somebody, but luckily for them, didn't get seen fully themselves. There they go, and there's the trade in response. Rise finds one, and Corey caught Shinka on the rotate, probably from the big double, well, there, underneath the big double windows. There's one more. P4 suffers, as Corey is keeping everything locked down on yellow. They might think there's more of a body count there than there is, but for now, it's everyone sticking themselves in on Rogue. They have some pressure on the site, but Rise is creeping up Visa stairs, looking to get some revenge here. Bibu goes down. There's the pressure. There's the diffuser cold. There's no second, but they go all the way round to the vending machines. The smoke covers the canister and the rotate, and there's a bit of a misplay almost by Crying. They get in, they get out, they get dropped. Rise with a triple kill for this round is really keeping Vitality in it.
Really confused what Crying is doing right there. Just you know, kind of stumbling across right there with that diffuser, almost losing it. Now again, going for the gunfight. It's a quad right now for Rise, and the flank is coming in. Corey letting himself be known. He's giving away his position, and he loses it. It's an ace of Rise, and it's Vitality with Rise that shut down Rogue again after the complete tactical timeout.
Well, those timeouts do go both ways. It gives teams a chance to chat, communicate, cross the board, and allows you to reevaluate things. And it seems like what they're looking at reevaluating is, how do we stop losing that first body? Okay, they technically did, as Shinka was dropped underneath, but at the same time, the response and the relocation of the players of Vitality, they are fully stretching Consulate out. They are really exploring all the possibilities and avenues of the staircases. It's hefty yet tall box design that allows these roam players, these aggro players that love peeking against windows, love just getting into angles. Vitality are playing around that right now, and it's just putting Rogue back into that bit of a funk of they're not winning their ones.
This Vitality is a different beast. Nobody expected them to be, you know, like an amazing team, and so far they have been showing the complete opposite. Rise right here, very well played, just moving in, dropping the diffuser once, dropping it twice, but taking down aces as well, and crying just with that diffuser, going for the challenge instead of for the plant, putting Rogue in a very, very dangerous position. And oh, we all know how that one ended as Rise picked up the ace. It's also his first 5 kills of the game. Round number 4, instantly starts it up with an ace, and well, 0-4 Vitality, no timeout magic for Rogue, as Medic said it.
Last week, Rogue had Leon leading the charge. He was able to really apply himself into the gunfights and was putting pressure across a lot of the rounds. This week, unfortunately, nobody has been able to step into that mantle as of yet. Corey, the only one with an even kill count right now, is, I guess, a bit of a sign of hope, but so is this. And I'm still going to harp on about how quick their pressure point of the utilities is. A canister already used and played by Shinka is very early and very, very concerning, I guess, for the Guns of Vitality. But look at the confidence that they have. P4, as I said, swinging and checking doors with his face, making sure that they're causing problems everywhere. It's these stalemate situations, and here is just one more of them.
E4 seems to be aware of the fact that one of the players is up there, as Aces now sends in a drone but gets it hacked by the pest, meaning the new one needs to come out if they want to be securing those yellow stairs. P4 is just dancing around right here. There's nothing that Rips is going to be able to do unless he moves all the way to the top right here, and that's the only way he's going to be able to confirm that kill. Right now, Ash Charge will be used to try and take care of the Evil Eye if they manage to find it. Instead, chooses to go for the Banshee. There comes the tags from the drone hole. One of the Evil Eyes will be lost. The second eye one will be taken down as well, so very good util uses. Oh, actually, no, still stands. Still stands. Missed that shot.
Dug in round the corner and doing everything to irritate them, pick apart the ankles of Aces, and now they've had to rotate back round. Corey's going to bounce a frag grenade, try and take care of any gadgetry where they think that Maestro bubble could be, potentially another Melusi on that staircase. An air jab pops off on the stairs somewhere, and P4 finally suffers. The opening frag falls yet again into the hands of Rogue, and now they're going to push all the way in, right through the middle of the 2 cars in the center, suffering every single step of the way, but they're making sure they can apply the pressure back. Corey and crying find ones apiece with some response from Vitality, but now it's only down to the man that was locked in on the bubble. They're going for the plant. It's a 3 versus 1. They have a rough idea where you are. Now they have a very firm idea on where you are. And now you're in a post plant looking for the first body onto yellow stairs. The others have retreated out, and Rogue have their first round.
Managed to get that first round indeed, and it's about time, as the tactical timeout didn't help them. However, right now they were able to pick up at least one, putting themselves on the board. That's important. That gives the opportunity of potentially going for a reverse sweep. Keep that in mind. That is something they need to aim at. They need to aim at the comeback right now, and the question is, will they be able to do so? Are they going to be able to bring it back, continue what they just set up, or are they going to be falling short again?
I think for the first time, what we saw that round really happen, or have it so obviously laid before us, was them able to punish Vitality for being a bit overconfident. The first kill came under the guise of the air jab. They dropped P4 and then instantly applied the pressure at the same time. They put them in a moment of potentially frantic comms and said, let's make things worse for you. They knew when to pull the trigger this time, and they didn't find themselves charging headlong and headstrong into what was a firing line. Vitality, they've been proven that they can bleed, but are they going to see if they can go back to how solid they were, or is the overconfidence and over-rotating going to cost them a second round?
I'm not sure if it's over-rotating, right? Because it was never really a big firing line to start off with. It was just Rogue picking and choosing the wrong battles all over the map rather than deciding to overwhelm the site. And that's exactly what they went for in round number 5, and that's exactly what managed to land them the win. But in a couple of seconds, they had people all over Garage. They could get the plan down, and they managed to take down a lot of the pressure. Leaving only Cactus left for this all that, and it's still an LMG. It still takes down a lot of bullets, in a couple of seconds and can mow you down. But if you're all in different angles, it's going to be really hard for Cactus to try and get that win locked in.
Oh, it's been one of the longest approaches we've seen, which is a strange sentence to say after only 30 seconds have passed, but it is how this game has gone, and if anything, it's one of those signs of Rogue of, are they calming down? Are they trying to keep their head game right? Are they trying to keep themselves balanced on this approach and make sure they don't suffer any of the quick plays as before? The pressure and pace is coming aplomb here from admin. They're not going to try and apply themselves directly to the windows as they did before. Instead, they're making sure that they can take these firefights as flat inside the building. You can see Vitality are re-evaluating and reaffirming the angles that they want to hold, opening a slight rotation, and P4 yet again using a canister quite early.
Second canister used right there by P4, but this is just purely to hold off aces for as long as possible, potentially buying a little bit of time to allow his teammates to start going for a little bit off that flank. The grenade is now being cooked, but Rice is going to be able to pick up one kill at least. The grenade will get dropped inside the copy, but no one is there to follow up on that one, and that means that, well, it is going to be a 4-on-4 right now, an even trade to come out for these next seconds as an impact trick takes care of one of the Selmas.
Bibu's able to find Leon as well, and that is your Selma thrower gone, so now they've got to just try and push this body inside above the site with, well, bodies. They're concerned about the rotation round from Spiral, but it was the angle held on long, and you can see one body just on the close right corner, so it's a lot of cross angles held and a lot of confidence. Again, we saw just as Cryan pulled away, another Vitality player swung against long desk, and with a minute on, a re-evaluation comes through. P4 is finally removed from the situation, but it was because of a drift where he went down Visa stairs on his own accord. Cryan concerned with the play above, and Rips just misses the rotate of Bibu across the top, and I guess we'll see if that comes to cost later.
Is expecting him to come back, but it's of course not going to be happening right here as Aces takes a gunfight but decides to rotate off as well. They know that the bomb site isn't going to be the top floor. They need to go to lobby press, and well, as the two members of Rogue are starting to set themselves up to be going through the Teller side, it is Aces that will be joining them soon. So we'll see a unified front going through this, well, bottom spiral area now, and it's up to Bibu to try and shut this down. Peeks in, gets a kill, will be better just jabbed out though, bringing it back to a 2-on-2 situation. The diffuser will be recovered, but the default cam is still up. That is going to be giving away valuable information to the likes of Rogue, and that is going to be landing Cactus a double kill. It's Vitality to win yet another round. The default cam up, costing them a round, giving the information to Cactus with the red pings to secure the spray down.
5-1 on the split. It's looking pretty good for Vitality. It came down to the wire, though, on that last one. And Rogue, again, it's still these little moments of getting closer and closer. One round was truly adrift, but outside of that, they've still kept themselves into this game. Now it's their game to set the pace off as they head over onto their defense on Consulate. Can the big gunners and guns of Rogue find some confidence roaming the halls and the many stories that Consulate offers?
Question we all like to see the answer to so far. It looks really good for Vitality here, and I'm having a feeling that they're going to be able to keep this up. Rogue, so far, not having the best start of the season in the previous matchup. So far, not having the best start of this match in this first half. Of course, there's two sides to a game of Siege, and there's always the opportunity of bringing it back around. And Leon is going to be, well, trying to make sure that there will be no drones entering. So no site information going to be there for Vitality, but they do know it's going to be that bottom floor. And it's up to them now. Do we completely bypass all roamers and hit the site directly? Or are we going to be hunting them? Because it does look like a very heavy roam setup coming down from Rogue.
Well, it's a lot of, I guess, expectation on Cryan. And I know it's, you know, the new pickup for the roster, the replacement for Kajeka. It's not the first time we've seen him added to a team with expectation. It's not the first time we've seen a huge gunner with so much potential join up with the roster, as we obviously saw with GT before, and not quite hit the mark. And I guess it's, you want to see the Cryan that absolutely tore through CL. You want to see this unstoppable fragger who was just so confident. And, you know, I guess it's still teething issues. It's not a TK as it was before, but look at that. Rips is the one that instantly steps into Rise, and I guess let's see if, because as I was saying before, Cryan can explore a great map for him.
Checking how many of the entries went Rogue's way. Most of them actually went Rogue's way, but they haven't been able to translate them into rounds so far. Let's see if on their defense that will be a different story, as Bibu looking for a quick drop down into the archives. Rips should be aware of that, but could be shot in the back if he's not quick enough. There you have it, clean headshot As Bibu able to bring it back to a 4-on-4 situation. Vitality reading the situation right here. We have B4 on the roam hunt, trying to at least keep them busy. Whilst we have one of the members actually already down near the site, hoping to put down some pressure. No way of getting back out. The rest of Vitality hoping to rotate around, potentially to open up the garage. But just look at this roam setup. One in antechamber, one in the bathroom, just ready to drop down at any moment. Whilst the likes of Vitality are looking to, well, split their forces in different directions.
Cactus keeping firm eyes on the windows of Piano to see if there's any potential of a pop-out, but Leon isn't throwing himself too close to the fire, but still close enough where a well-placed drone could really cut his lifespan much shorter. Now, as they steadily try and beat themselves down towards Piano, P4's droning themselves in. They're going to open up yellow door and try and apply this pinch pressure slightly somewhere else to make sure that Leon cannot just rotate and roam via the stairs back towards the site itself. Make things uncomfortable for the off-site players, as with a minute on, they're finally starting their approach with still some pressure coming from the opposite side.
Yeah, you see a couple of shots being peppered down right there, but remember that is still down around Bibu, of course, hoping to find a hat. So far, not being given any besides the initial one of Rips himself yet. Cactus now dropping as well with that diffuser. That is going to be giving away the game, that they are going for a take, an A plant in that case. And as he's holding a little bit of a punch hole, he's hoping to pick up a kill, dealing a little bit of damage potentially to any of the defenders, as Aces will be dropping down right beside the white van. They know what's coming and they need to hold it up for as long as they possibly can.
Bullet holes and close angles. Vitality are leaving a very little amount of time for them to actually capitalize upon the push. You can see the blue bodies still drifting above the site to Jaeger of Cryan that's looking for the potential of a firefight here and cause massive problems if he swings back a little bit later on. Bibu charges up the side of the white corridor and hits a man on the side. Dropped on the entrance though. It's quick trades either side. A double for Leon. It's a 2 versus 1 as they can't quite catch the rotation around the side. The diffuser's cold though. And there is a round for Rogue.
Time was gone. 2 extra seconds is all what was necessary for the Ash for B4 to run in time and get that final kill. But Rogue able to bring up at least one of the rounds back on the back of a opening frag. And now you could literally see right here how important that one would have been, right? If you would have had the extra member and you would have gotten the clean kill onto Rips right there as Vitality, you would have been able to put more pressure down into the kitchen, maybe send 2 people through that door, making sure that that one shotgun of Rise wasn't going to be able, not Rise, I'm sorry, Corey or Aces, wasn't going to be able to pick up the diffuser and basically lose you around on the back of that. So Rogue able to pick up yet one more round. Let's see if they're going to be able to make it more.
Still a lot of work left ahead of them and still some uncomfortable sites to do it on. Lobby is the next. I'm curious to see how much of an extension they go with up above and even potentially some down below, because we know that this is a great map to explore and really just find your feet and your footing on. But Vitality showed pace in getting that opening frag, or the opening for their team after losing the actual opener. It was Bibu who swung down off a Z ping and put pressure instantly to the backside of the site. They know how to see an opportunity and then to try to collapse upon it. And on a site like this, where it's a bit of a walk-in and a whole lot of angles, that could go either very, very well and heroically, or one of those, let's forget that round.
I'm actually wondering by how important the drones have been so far in these games, where there is no more combination of Mute and Mozzie being played, of course, just purely to deny the attackers of that advantage of the information that they can get, because it seems to be getting a lot of people killed. Of course, maybe it just doesn't fit in any composition right now, but I think it will be a very strong operator combination right now at the current meta that we're seeing.
Well, it looks like Vitality is heading to the top floor to see if they can make some work of the 3 bodies that are currently up there. They're looking towards Corey as the first to suffer, though, as he rotates around Antechamber, is able to get back into the bathroom and the safety of his shield, but it's that worry of the pace of pressure that is always going to be the bit of the cost. Cryan dug in on the top with some discs to keep some semblance of safety, but the air jab actually doesn't quite go off. They doubled it down. Aces headed out, I believe, and Leon picked the frag with P4 getting some revenge on the hop-in. There is Aces to try and put some pressure back on. There's constant pings of Crying on the stairs, who dropped Shinka, who was playing, I believe, on the top of the skylight. P4 is in a real tight spot right now with Rise, the only semblance of safety, covering on the bathroom, but he swings and takes it there, drops Crying from the bathroom. At this point now, they have themselves in a 2 versus 1 situation above, but almost had them taken out from underneath them by a C4.
Yeah, digging along a lot of damage right there onto P4, but he manages to survive for now. And as Rise is continuing to go on his drone, hoping to gain some information, P4 is holding off the potential flank, but it looks like the members of Rogue have already all descended into the first floor. Ace is even down into the basement, hoping to go for a very long flank, maybe all the way back up onto Visa, maybe even all the way up back to upstairs, hoping to try and find P4 and secure the job. Make sure that you get that entry. But with 60 seconds left, Rise now starting to open up into Piano, hoping to get these vertical angles to put some pressure down. They also know, however, they need to hurry up as P4 gets a bit of a tag down onto one of the Rogue members, but not quite anything yet they can work with because they need to get these entries right now, and they're debating whether or not to be dropping hatches. That is a very dangerous thing to do right here because all these angles that are being watched. Corey throwing his second smoke canister, still has one left, now letting his position be known with a couple of shots with that quick shotgun. Ace is able to pick up one. A refrag will be there from P4. No, actually, he fails to do so. With 20 seconds left, it's only up to him now.
Well, now as he goes back to the top floor to try and find the first, and does, P4 drops Aces and looks down towards what is a very dangerous site. Takes the quick drop and swings to a corner of Corey, who puts Rogue one round closer to bringing themselves back balanced.
Bringing it back so far. Stepping up. Rogue, that is. As they managed to get the entry frag in this time, the last couple of times, actually, they have been able to translate these into rounds. A little bit of criticism I gave them earlier on. Bring it back to 3-5, as we probably are going to be going for a little tactical timeout for Vitality, due to, of course, the swap in momentum we've just had.
I like how your mic covers most of your face.
Yeah, sorry.
Is that your...
I didn't realize that.
It's fine. I mean...
That's what I'm casting,
yeah,
so I can...
you got caught out. And caught out, I think, is the energy of Vitality. This is exactly what I wanted to see from Rogue. It's confidence in their play. It's leaning into what Consulate can offer. Because if you show up, even if you're very skilled with a half-hearted game, you'll lose. There's no two ways about it. It's too quick, it's too sharp, and leads itself too perfectly to controlling just everything, trying to go for these big, wide hero play flanks, trying to just keep the pressure on in unexpected ways. It's Consulate to a T, and that is exactly what Rogue are doing right now.
Rogue are definitely keeping up the pressure very well right here. They are realizing what to do in the defense, how to disrupt them, and they're using that in their advantage. So far, 2 in a row, and now we'll be going up to the third side. Back upstairs we go. That is going to be console and meeting. And it's the tertiary bomb site for Rogue, which is normally the first bomb site for many.
That's it. It puts you in this situation of, okay, well, what are they going to do next? Well, head on up to what is the first. Head on up to what is, for a lot of teams, the strongest site. But also with the expectations of attackers, they know where things are going to go generally at this point. It's not the least seen thing for a team to head to the split site, but with this still on the board, with how this team likes to play, you would expect to see this top floor site. So you would expect this to be a perfect Vitality pickup of operators. It's how well they can kind of make it work right now. And I guess if we talk about the team talk not initially working for Rogue before Vitality, well, they still have just 2 rounds away from taking the 4 points, just 1 round away from guaranteeing a point, but they're only 2 rounds ahead of their opponents right now.
Yeah, that lead was a bit bigger. It was 1-5 at one point. We're finding ourselves at the 3-5 mark now. Rogue is starting to bring it back. And while we know that they're a pretty emotional team, maybe as well, due to that when they're successful, they will continue to roll. And as soon as it went a little bit bad inside of Stage 2 2020, they didn't seem to be able to recover out of that one. So Rogue are looking, they're hungry to finally break that 10 loss streak that they have and finally put that win on the board again to change the momentum, change the league back into their favor, because we all know that they're a top team. They're just in a slump and they haven't been able to get out of it yet. So is this going to be the game where they make the reverse sweep happen, where they make the sweep happen, the reverse, and make sure that they get the 3 points? Because those 3 points are something that is definitely needed for this team.
Well, here comes an intense amount of pressure to a Doctor who was in and is still in somehow, uses a lot of his stims to get up, but just suffers on the final slip away. Leon, he took a huge amount of punishment, and Corey's going to step in to try and keep this hold here. Huge swathes of pressure onto yellow. Cryan is still underneath, concerned about the pop-up from the bottom of the yellow stairs. But look at this, all of those vitality bodies, 2 of them suffer half health from a single C4, and wow, that's a huge amount of bod left on those stairs.
A lot left indeed, and keep in mind a lot of the utility was already used trying to take care of the dock, so there's not much explosives left on the attacking side of things. So they need to make sure that whatever they have left will be counting, and they need to make sure that they get piano control, because otherwise the rappel in is definitely not on the board.
Now it's a hold, now it's a wait, and now it's a bit of concern from Corey, with Cryan offering some support underneath to say, well, the danger's only going to come from 3 different places. The swinging comes with the rotation covered off, and Cryan finds Rise, but there's a body dropped in the bathroom too, and look at this. The swing is coming back in. There's P4, and there's Response to 3 versus 2 suddenly, with the second body finally finding their way into the site. 3 versus 1. Cryan's able to get the triple kill after rotating around from underneath. Shinka left high and dry, hanging outside of a very dangerous double windows, pre-firing all the possible angles, but Rogue are not overthrowing themselves. They're not pushing too hard. They know where the body's going to come from, and they know how to put themselves only 1 round under. 3 in a row for Rogue.
Also, no tactical timeout wonders coming in for Rogue right here, as it seemed to be going well for Vitality, but a lot of utility was used to try and clear out the 1 man on the yellow stairs. They did manage to find him, just unfortunately were not able to lock off the round after that. C4 came in, dealing a lot of damage, and as soon as people started to rappel in, they were being gunned down by any of the other remaining fraggers on the like of Rogue, because Leon is down in that case. He's playing support at this moment in time, but you still have Cryan, you still have Aces, and you still have Corey, who are all playing very well, and then you have Rips that could also just come in and toss in a killer C4 to put up a lot of damage right there. And thus, Rogue, so far, are really stepping it up, are really bringing it back, and 1 round away right now from bringing that up to even. This is a very close game, and Vitality, are they losing hope yet? Because we have those 3 in a row right now from Rogue.
Well, Vitality, it seemed so easy. And then Rogue remembered who they were. They found themselves on the defense so far, but it's not over yet. 1 away from calling equal, 2 away from securing a point, a very precious thing, because we cannot highlight enough just how many league wins this could be in a row for Rogue across the span of the previous season to now. Is this finally the moment we start to see Rogue light up and guarantee some scratchings on the very precious board that keeps them competing?
Still a buffer for Vitality, a 1 round buffer that they have to try and make sure that they are going to be the ones that reach 6 first. If it is up to them, they will do it right now. Put up the pressure even more so on Rogue to get the opportunity to reach that 7 mark without the overtime being there, because they do want to get the 3 points. Yes, of course, the 2 are still worth it, but the 3 are just worth so much more, because you keep your opponent Rogue down below you in that case. And as the drones are starting to flood in, Cryan is preparing himself for a potential drop, and thus drops himself as well, because it is going to be on that bottom floor. Aces now retreating himself into the piano as well. 2 minutes on that clock, and Vitality are trying to hunt them down quickly.
Yeah, Bibu is trying to apply a lot of pace here, puts the air jab on the top of the bottom of Visa stairs to make sure any approach upwards is going to get quickly knocked back down, but without somebody to capitalize upon it, it could just be blown utility, which we've already seen Rogue just take out and go for the kill anyway and succeed. A lot of waiting here from Vitality. They had their timeout and they know that rounds have started to drift away from them, but this is also how Rogue were able to start punishing Vitality and take a round on their attacks. Was let's wait, let's let them throw themselves at us. It's up to Rogue to keep things solid, and well, Cryan drops down but gets caught by a quick spray there. They're holding close, he's still standing, and there's a lot of concern for this angle because that leaves Leon very isolated up there.
Yeah, there's no way he's going to be able to drop right now. Tries it anyway. Takes a lot of damage right there. So basically, P4 able to put Leon and Cryan down to a very low HP. But they have Aces that somehow picks up the kill nonetheless and takes down P4, basically returning the favor.
Well, here comes Vitality charging across the top to try and crack open as many angles as possible. They are really fighting with the fire here with a body count down. We're seeing Rogue confidently swinging against these angles and playing reverse pressure. It's making them be punished for it. That's the cost. And Aces is able to find his second for the round. Rise is the next one off the board. And, well, with Vitality looking and praying towards some piano control, they still don't have those electrics off, and they only have 30 seconds left. The Selmas start to pop either side. The Melusi is screaming on the staircase as Bibu guns his way down, but there's a quick response from Corey to make sure he goes no further. Finally, the wall is opened, and they're finally able to find one of the Rogue players. There's a second and a third quickly falling. Suddenly a 2 versus 2 with only 10 seconds on the board. Pre-firing and peppering round to the deep back of the site. They're dug in with the Melusi calling the entire time. They're far away with a single C4. Leon swings onto the push on yellow here, gets the drop on one, finds the second. Leon with the double to keep Rogue on this roll. Look at the man in his camera.
There we have it. He's being very happy. Rogue bring it back to 5-5. And, well, it should have been a 3v5 situation for Vitality there if you look at it realistically. You had P4 just prone on the angle into the bathroom, taking down Cryan to 20 HP after he got down, putting down Leon on 20 HP, but he went too aggressive afterwards. He tried to go for the aggressive angle, and Aces just had the better aim right there, managed to secure the kill. And with that, they managed to actually take the entry yet again, which they have been able to convert so many times so far on their defensive half. And as they are now as well having the opportunity to reach that 6 mark first, Vitality is getting under pressure. Rogue are really getting back alive right here. Is the reverse sweep going to be happening, or is Vitality still going to be able to shut it down?
Well, confidence was what we wanted, and they are delivering the first time in a long time. We have seen that energy from those player cams, which we know they are capable of. Rogue, you are only level, though, and you are so close to breaking that trend. I do not want to cast a curse it, but you're not there yet. However, you cannot let that slow you down. You have to stick in, and the same goes for Vitality. They were a team that seemed so well coordinated and put together on their defenses, but on their attacks have just struggled to make any of these marks hit. When they need to set their own pace, they can't quite play their game. There it is. There they go. There is Leon.Rogue.
Shinka really needed to get the kill right there onto Leon to make sure that round would have gone their way. But it might have been a lack of information. Maybe the sound of him just running up got lost. And there's a quick push coming in. P4 just entering the site right now. Are they aware? No, they're not. That's the entry coming in. P4 taking down Corey, and the plan's going down straight away. Are they going to be able to stick this or not? Leon is missing his shots. He's not finding the angle. Yes, he will eventually, though. And we'll be dropping the diffuser cold with 2 minutes 30 on the clock. They tried something very adventurous, but they are seeming to fail. And maybe this is going to be what Rogue needs to get back into it and get that 6 mark.
It was able to take care of Corey, though, who was caught unaware in the bathroom. Leon was able to find the angle above, but you look at what's been costed here for both teams. The smokes are gone from one. The diffuser's cold in the middle of a room right by the piano on the other. They need to clear the top floor. They have no choice because they know as soon as they try and step any feet close to it, it is going to be the final bit of music they hear as bullets raining from above and hitting them keys. So how are they going to respond to this? Vitality putting the drones around the back stairs and making sure yellow falls under their control, playing around on the close angles to see if they can catch anybody, waiting yet again. But look at the rotations here coming. Aces wants to respond with aggression.
Of course he wants to respond with aggression, but the diffuser is already down. All they have to do is just hold the vertical angle right now. And Shinka trying to make that impossible as Leon gets another kill. Rise will go down. Leon going aggressive now, trying to make sure that the window will be taken under their control, but he's not having it. And as of yet, Shinka is trying to, well, repel him off with a couple of concussions. Bibu, in the meantime, seems to be near the bathroom, hoping to enter soon. And with, well, 1 minute and 10 seconds left, Rip seems to be aware of that.
Concern around the corner of Antechamber as Aces is trying to double up and offer some support. There was still a long angle held from outside, and there is still a lot left to do. There's Bibu finding Rips and putting some power back into Vitality's hands, and there's a little bit more. Leon suffers at the hands of what is an exceptional French player, but they still need to get their way in. There is potentially a pre-placed C4 on Piano too, as they steadily just creep their approach around. They need to try and find a little bit of a handle on where the remaining blue players are. Rogue, they're suffering around the back of the spiral desk. Cactus with the lock off, all down to Cryan, swings onto one. Shinka suffers, and a second earlier, well, it could have been the C4 popping. Now there is the swing and the revenge on Circle. They know where Cryan is. He's looking for the angle. He finds the next. It's a post plant suddenly though. Shinka full health. Cryan suffering. Cryan knocked out. Vitality, they guarantee a point.
Look at how happy they are right there. They're just shouting and screaming into their faces. As I believe one of the members is quickly asking for a bit of water coming in right here. Oh, no. Not sure what's happening, but they're very happy with it nonetheless. As they did secure themselves 1 point and are going to be able to at least go out with that one. And now they're going to be trying to make sure that it is going to be, as I move my mic out of my face again, going up to the 5-7 mark. They just managed to beat Rogue on that one. They tried to go for a very quick push. P4 able to get Corey. Wanted to go for the plant. Aces just able to find the angle in time. Otherwise, it would have been a completely different story. And after that, Bibu with an godly play. Moving through the bathroom. Getting 2 kills right there. And after that, they just played it out perfectly right there. Almost a 1v3 clutch, however. Just not quite yet. Vitality clutching that one out, at least grabbing that 1 point so far and having the opportunity to go for 3 as the only team that will be able to do that from these two.
All the way to the bitter end is how this battle is going so far, and it doesn't look like it's going to slow down anytime soon. We have to look at the fact that we're potentially going to head back up to console, to CEO on the top floor, and seeing how the hold works there, because when it fell apart for Vitality on the attack, they weren't quite able to capitalize upon loose movements and rotations that the Rogue players were doing, fully exploring along long desks, slipping through the fingers of the French team. However, this time round, what we saw was an application of pace and control from Vitality that led to their success. They still had the bodies watching the hatch to alleviate and allow Bibu to move and manipulate his way through the core and the center of the site to find those 2 kills that started to swing everything into their favor. Vitality, they woke up a little bit. Now both teams have a breather, as we have obviously a quick technical pause for a sound bug error, which is going to be fixed. And, well, it's probably some long conversations across all 10 players.
It's a bit of calming down, trying to reset the momentum for the case of Rogue, making sure that they are going to be able to strike back, whilst Vitality wants to keep the energy high. They want to make sure that they can continue on the back of that game, of that play that they just made. And I'm just quickly scrolling back through the notes. Round number 9, because I'm checking back 2, right? Because we had Lobby Press, Cafeteria Garage, Console Meeting. Console Meeting is now unlocked again, so they have the choice between Split Side Console and Lobby Press. Now, they're probably going to be going up to the top floor, console meeting that is. And what we saw in that round is that a lot of utility was used on yellow to take down Leon. So what we're probably going to be seeing right now is that Leon will no longer be playing on yellow, at least not as Doc, as that was, you know, a bit of an unlucky loss right there. They still managed to turn it around, but you might want to try and avoid the, the grenade dump on your body in that case.
Rogue, you are so close to breaking this streak. Sure, it doesn't confirm anything other than potentially a point, but that point is so precious to a team that has struggled to find any for a long time. It is a confidence, it is a play, and it is a top floor we go to for potentially the last dance of this showdown, but potentially the start of a heck of a final OT.
Is that the first plant we've seen, by the way? I believe it was. Oh, no.
Garage.
3. Yeah. I've been slacking on my plant notes.
That's all right.
Anyway. Fight 6. Top floor. We do indeed see Leon now playing on a different operator, not the dock. But we see, look at the ADSs stacked up right there on that wall. And then probably there's going to be magnets to, well, follow up on that one as well, just to make sure that Leon is going to be feeling safer in this position, making sure that when they throw in 2 grenades to impact all kinds of flashbangs and whatever else you can imagine, he will not be taken out from the start of the round.
Cryan prepping a window for the possibility of a hop out here in case anybody gets onto that bathroom window, or even with the very bold run round the short wall, depending on the height of the man on yellow. Either way, that's to offer some support to Leon, who very quickly suffered from the pace that was played previously there. But Cryan was the man of the moment the last time they held the top floor, staying underneath, being left to his own devices, ended up costing Vitality much more in the long run, as he quickly was able to reapply the pressure and offer them support on the opposite side. Bibu is the one that's hanging around on yellow as they set themselves up with an air jab potentially for the run out that was prepped previously just by that back line of the ground floor, but the pace and the pressure starts to instantly come down towards Leon.
There you have it again. A lot of the flashbangs being tossed in. The ADSs might come back at any second now. Grenades are being tossed in, taking out some of the ADSs, but Leon still survives. There comes a grenade, dealing just a little bit of damage. No, just gets eaten by the ADS, and they're all recharged now. And that is going to be giving Leon a very safe space to play with. All the utility is basically gone. Look at that. 2 frag grenades, 4 frag grenades actually, 2 concussions and 3 flashbangs all out that they have no longer available to themselves on the likes of Vitality. And that means it all comes down to the pure gun skill now of these players, as they just don't have any other way, no indirect way anymore, to take care of the rogue players.
Lord Leon exceptionally brave to hold his positioning during what was a cavalcade and cascade of grenades and flashes all down over him, like that famous clip from Latin America where everything was on the screen. This time he survives, and this time the cost has been in the pockets of Vitality. They have so much left to do and barely any utility to do it with, down to just guns, just pushing. There's the first bit of his response. You thought you could flash me out? No way. Lord Leon sits upon his throne and sets himself up for more pressure.
All right, in the meantime, it's inside, though. We'll be able to pick up one, sees the prone, doesn't get the second one, though. Corey somehow able to win that gunfight, but Cactus is going down with the plant, and that means a post-plant is upon us. They had no clue. 45 seconds on the clock. Rick's coming from behind. It's a 1-on-3 situation, and the last man is up on the rappel. This is going to be Shinka. Are you going to be able to make this happen as he rappels in? That might be a mistake. Oh, he was all the way on the other side. That is going to be 6-6. That is going to be overtime, and Rogue managed to stay in the game for now.
You could see Corey holding his heart a little bit like, ooh, that was almost close. Another diffuser goes down. Rogue, they go with it. They make sure that they keep their movement hot and steady and in control of the pressure. This has been a very defender-sided consulate. There's no two ways about that, regardless of how the teams are playing. Only one round apiece on their attacks. So you look at the fact that Rogue are now starting on their defense. This is theirs to take home. Vitality have to step up to their level right now.
They have to indeed. They need to win at least one of the next 2 attacking rounds that we'll be playing together with their defensive round. So the pressure is upon Vitality. Rogue have the advantage right now. We have seen, I believe, only 2 attacking wins so far. So you know what time it is. Rogue must be feeling good.
Well, they're going with the top floor, potentially trying to bait the players. Obviously, this was the 3rd in their rotation before, and potentially it's come at the cost of the possibility of the pocket utility that is being held. Cactus with the ace, instead of obviously doubling up with those frag grenades. They've only got 2 to try and take control of yellow, and this could have one of 2 effects. Either they are entirely stumped on their approach and get caught out by those ADSs, or they very quickly come up with a plan B, potentially an admin take with some pressure across the opposite side, completely forgo the idea of taking control of yellow and leaving it up to more of a flat fire fight, as we saw Rogue lean into later on in their attacks. It does seem like that is the approach here, as they instantly find some pressure on these admin windows.
was going to say, I think we already saw Plan B during the previous round, whereas, they tried to take yellow first. That failed, so they just went for a quick rush into the meeting room, and they were almost able to get away with it, but it was just that the refrag of Rogue was there. If Corey would have died there, that would have been a Vitality round. Just keep that in mind in that final round when you think of it again. With 5-5, 2 minutes left, Cactus has entered on side of admin, but there is still a player down below, and Rips has the ability to toss up a C4, so they have to be careful.
One of the things that we've seen happen a couple of times so far is Vitality see an opportunity on the site and they take it very quickly, and sometimes Rogue are left a little bit lacking when it comes to responding and stopping the diffuser down. It's only down to the clutches and response of the players that's been able to bring some success, but it's tough to rely upon that sort of setup, that sort of play. Here, it seems like they'll do an early call. You can see Rips is moving deep underneath the site itself and deep underneath admin. They have the C4 possibility. They want to try and apply the pressure here, but the concern is if they drift a little bit too wide without a gun in their hands, Vitality will strike, as they have done many, many times. Asus is doubling down and keeping his head cool as he keeps a bit and a beat on everybody that's steadily putting closer and putting more and more pressure. The first C4 Rip Tornin almost takes care of the ace before they can even pop a single Selma, I believe. There's the cover on the rotation. Cactus lucky to survive.
Yeah, they have one more Selma left, but they need to be careful. There comes a grenade that will be bouncing back, I believe. Will almost be taking out Cactus himself, and as now the Selma will be coming in as it's covered off by a couple of smoke grenades. There is a Mew Gemmer down on the actual spot that will be denying the opening from happening. P4 needs to be taking that one out with a bit of an ash charge, and will do so by taking down the table. Now he needs to make sure that there is no more Mew Gemmer blocking off the Selma there, but the Selma might already be gone. Quick lean P coming in right there. Ace is spotting out the player, but potentially being spotted out himself as well. No, loses the gunfighter's rise to get the first frag. P4, however, responded onto, and Leon gets a kill as well.
Quick trades back from Rogue there in 40 seconds, but Rise is inside. And now it's down for the blue bodies to try and offer some support and response. Corey pops the canister around the corner and puts them in a bit of pressure, but they're able to recollect the diffuser and reevaluate as they try and put bullets over the top of Rise. He goes for the close swing, he loses it. Corey buried down in the connector room, and there's another blue body taking another red off the board. Bibu is all that's left. He was able to bring around to success before. Here's an air jab and catches somebody else. In the meantime, they knew they were coming up Visa stairs. Rips knew that Bibu was there. Bibu finds one more. It's a 2 versus 1. He doesn't have the diffuser. He's going for bodies and pre-firing corners. There's two people just having a lie down.
Oh, just having a bit of a lie down, as they managed to chillingly get that round in. Rogue, the timer runs out in a 1v3, of course. One was in the DBNO stage, but they still are going to be in the advantage now as they secure themselves the match point. One more round in these next two, and they will be the ones to walk away with the 2 points.
Well, it was down the round before for Leon to kind of take over the pressure, and that time was Asus. Gotta stay cool and calm under just an absolute cacophony of pops and pings of utility coming your way. Now, though, the toughest challenge for Rogue is ahead of them. Take an attack. What they have this time that they didn't have before is the confidence of, well, most of their successful rounds in a row behind them under the belt, -1 that went the way of Vitality. On the other hand, the French roster, you've got to be able to pull yourself back into the mindset that you had in the opening 4 or 6 rounds of this game, because it was you, all calm, cool, sailing and able to lock it down. You know the success you can have on defense, but getting your headspace there after suffering some losses, it's not the easiest thing to do. This is where the real test of their mentality will come through.
That is the thing, right? They have been finding themselves on the attack for so long. Are they still going to be able to turn it around right now? Now they find themselves on the defense. Are they going to be able to get back in that winning mentality that has been working so well for them during the first half of this game, where they managed to, well, surprises, picking up 4 rounds in a row before Rogue was finally able to put one on the board. It looked like it was going to be a quick day here for Vitality, but, well, we find ourselves in overtime now. Rogue managed to make the reverse sweep happen. They managed to bring it to OT and are now on match point. The tables have turned, and it's up to Vitality to try and bring this to max OT.
Crying concerned about the popping from windows, and this is something about Rogue before, is they were so quick in getting that opening body, and then it was the execute where everything started to fall apart. So Have they been able to utilize some of the body putting down powers that they picked up on their defenses towards their attacks? The use of their utility to try and dig out these defenders. The instant pressure comes towards Rise on the stairs. They see there's many ADSs. They know Wamai's on the board too. They know it's a similar situation towards what they set up before. Here comes all of those pings, those pops, that danger, that damage, that crying, and Rise is gone. The bathroom is won, and Aces finds P4 in the meantime. Corey applies the pressure up. You can see a red body rotating around the top of stairs. Corey doesn't need to push his advantage too much, but is concerned about somebody who might come up from underneath.
Very well flushed out yellow there. The right ID is what was in Rogue's mind. Maybe the Rise didn't know that one was actually present on the rappel onto that bathroom. And right now, Vitality finds themselves in a bit of a pickle, as it is going to be Rogue that throws in another grenade, and that is going to be landing right underneath Bebo's feet. But he's not going to be able to be killed by that, though. Tosses in the impact as Corey will go quite low. Another grenade, however, will be coming in. Shinka starts to reply. It's a 4-2 situation now, but only one member is left on the site. And as soon as Rogue are starting to realize that, they will surely be repelling in, and is exactly what they did as Cactus gets the first kill. The C4 is being prepped by Shinka. Is he going to be able to go huge with this one? Is he going to be able to pick it up? No, Rips will pick him up from the yellow stairs. This will be the downfall. It is only up to Cactus now. He needs to go for the 1v3 clutch in the post-plant situation, as it's 45 seconds on the clock. Misses the first couple of shots. He will be pressured from the connector. We'll be getting some pings. We'll be getting loads of red pings as he needs to go for the wall pings left, right, and center, but will not be able to find any yet. And as the time is slowly ticking down, he starts to get one. Knows one is near the bathroom. Knows one will be going up to the rappel. But as there is no more information, he will be wasting a lot of valuable time. Rips is going to be upside down on the rappel. Aces is making himself out. This is Rogue. This is Rogue being able to pick up the points as they are stalling out the time. Cactus will try and go for the defuse, but he will be taken down. Aces with the final kill. And look at how happy they are. After 10 losses in a row in official games, they have finally turned it around and managed to take it in overtime.
Commiserations to Vitality, who looked so good throughout so much of this map, but Rogue are the ones that walk away with 2 points as they won in OT. Vitality still get 1 for their troubles in the new system of who gets what, but the smiles across the faces of Rogue, I'm sure, are met by a lot of you supporters in blue out there. Finally,